Yes. Hello, family, and welcome to the Pink Table Talk here for the House of Hope Atlanta, where Dr. Edoy Smith is our pastor and Lady Andrea is our first lady. We are so excited to be doing this for the Women of Hope ministry. Shout out to the Women of Hope. We grow and learn in every stage of life, and that's our motto. So today we will be talking Pink Table Talk, girl talk today. Topic today is something that I love, something that we've been all dealing with, which is get me out of here. How many of you all are feeling the same way as me? Get me out of here. I'm stuck at home. Some of you have children, husbands, the whole bit, aging parents, whatever it may be, but we're all quarantined right now, so we can't leave and go anywhere. So we're kind of stuck with each other right now. So we're going to talk about that. So let me introduce our guest. If I didn't introduce myself, my name is Loria Reed, and I'm the coordinator for the Women of Hope. So excited to be with you guys today. Our first guest, she's a family care physician, a board certified family physician. She's proficient, sought after. She's been on CNN, HLN, every media outlet you can think of, NBC, Sister Circle, everything. She's also a model, loves playing basketball, enjoys traveling. So would you welcome with me Dr. Barbara Joy Jones? She's awesome. Isn't she beautiful? Hey, Dr. Jones. Thank you for being here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Glad to have you today. All right, and our next person, she is the leading lady of Concord Church. She's the leader of the 31 Women's Ministry. I'm a fan of her. She doesn't know that, but I am. I've been following them for a while. They do some awesome things in ministry there. Her mission in life is to inspire women and to help them to grow. She's also a guru, I'd like to say, with pastors' wives, which is something that's very intricate in the life of a believer, especially women. And she's the wife of Pastor Carter, Brian Carter, and has 3 lovely children. Would you welcome First Lady Stephanie Carter? Hello, First Lady.
Hello, First Lady. Everyone. Thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
So happy to be here.
So glad.
I'm doing great.
So glad you're here. Glad you're here. All right, and our next person, she's a self-taught artist, an entrepreneur. I can't wait for you all to see her and what she's done with her background. I mean, she makes me look like peanuts. But anyway, she's a motivational speaker. She has created over 500 original pieces of art, meaning she did them herself. 40 larger than life murals, and has been on Forbes magazine, Vogue, Essence, Sheen magazine. She's also, she works in textiles and all these different types and shapes of art. She does these beautiful head wraps that many celebrities have also worn, like Lupita. So let's welcome today Melissa Mitchell. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, so glad to be here and spend my beautiful Saturday with you all.
So glad that you are here with us. So let's go ahead on and get started. I don't want to hold it up any longer. Many of us are a little stir crazy right now. Is that you guys? Are you all there yet? Just a little bit. Okay. This question is for Dr. Jones. We know right now that we are stir crazy, that we are going through a quarantine. So could you tell us what is the importance, and sometimes we miss the whole point of why we're quarantined. Could you tell us what the significance is behind that and why we're actually doing it? So sometimes we kind of get caught up in our own emotions and feelings, but why are we really doing this? What's the point behind it?
Coronavirus, this new one, COVID-19, is a brand new novel virus, okay? So the world has never seen it before, which means 100% of people can get it and likely will get it. But the problem is that we have 80% of us that may be asymptomatic or have mild symptoms, and then it will go away, and then we have a little bit of immunity. But then we have 20% that are at high risk. The ones with diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, those that are elderly, some people on chemotherapy that have cancer. are autoimmune diseases that are on biologics. So those people are at risk. So we're trying to protect that 20% in the demographic that has the possibility of having severe symptoms and having to go to the hospital. And then from those people, that 20%, about 5% will need a ventilator. So there is 300 million people in America, and there's only about 160,000 ventilators, and trying to make more. But if you do the math, 5% of 300 million needing a ventilator, 160,000 is not enough. So the whole point is, as about 60 to 70% of Americans who will actually get it, we're trying to literally flatten the curve and delay the amount of people that get it for later, so that we don't overwhelm the healthcare system, that get it, that we're able to take care of them and keep them alive. Because in Italy and other countries, and even in New York currently, there aren't enough ventilators. And so they are having to have the unfortunate decision of literally choosing between two people that may be able to live but only have one ventilator, and they have to choose likely the younger person. So someone who's, let's just say 62, and there's a 42-year-old who needs a ventilator, they're going to likely choose the 42-year-old, and you're losing someone's grandmother, grandfather, mother, father. And that is just really, really unfortunate. When, if that person had gotten sick even 4 months later, all of a sudden they get a ventilator and they get to live. So it's life and death, basically.
Wow. Thank you for that. And shifting into another gear, into the emotional side of how we're feeling. Lady Carter, I know that you are a mother, and you have 3 lovely children, and you guys are all in there together right now. How are you coping and dealing with the quarantine currently?
Well, we have, like you said, we have 3 children. We have a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, and I think for a minute, a 12-year-old. So my oldest is a senior. So watching her kind of walk through this season, her senior year, and watching different things be canceled has been kind of heartbreaking. But we've learned through this season just to celebrate the little things. So when she's getting her acceptance letters, you would think it is the biggest thing. And I think I'm very thankful that my kids are older because they can work independently. My heart goes out to any woman who has a child under 12, especially little people, and you're having to sit through with them. Each kid kind of has their own space where they work at. But just being really sensitive because they're going through different emotions of, I miss my friends, I miss school, I miss seeing my teachers. And with my husband, with him being a senior pastor, it's a whole different kind of dynamic with him because he's even more busier now. He's on the phone more and he's in his office, and just setting boundaries and just some ground rules for our house to really function because it's completely new. This is a completely new season. And I think at first, the first week, we were kind of like, oh, this is great. We're all together. And then the second week, it was like, okay, so we need to put some things in place because I'm not going to cook like this every day. You guys can have some cereal and some sandwiches. But that first week, it was like super big breakfast, lunch, and yeah. So reality has kind of set in, and definitely putting some boundaries in place has helped immensely.
I can only imagine. Literally, I can only imagine. Well, kind of staying in the same vein with Melissa, I know that you're a single female, such as myself. One thing that I noticed during this time is I have a socially distant life, so this did not affect me as it has others because I work from home anyway, so it hasn't really, things haven't really changed a lot for me. So how has it affected you as an entrepreneur as well as being a single woman? How's that going for you?
So, a lot of people think that I'm this really big, larger than life extrovert, but I'm actually a excited introvert. And so, a lot of people don't know my story. I became a painter during the snowstorm of 2014 while I was locked in my room. And it was snow, snow was everywhere and I couldn't do anything. So I looked at this time as isolation as a birthing season for me as an entrepreneur. I built a 6-figure empire out of the snowstorm. So over 5 years, I've been able to do that. So I haven't really had the hit of the social distancing. All of my friends, we talk on the phone every day. We're always on Instagram sharing memes. We meet up now on Zoom weekly. So I I've made more of an effort to stay connected, but I'm excited about the me time. You see, I've redecorated my house 3 times already, but I've used this time to really, really say, God, what are you trying to get out of me in this season? Is it that I need more rest, or is it that I need to produce more? So I've created some very healthy boundaries even for myself in my own home. Okay, you're going to paint today, but today you're going to do nothing because I too work from home. So I think for singles, don't beat yourself up if you're not married and don't have kids and you're at home alone. There's so many other things you can be doing. And it might be time for you to give birth to that business, that book, that opportunity that you've been sitting on for months. And now you have nothing but space to create it. So I'm excited about being isolated to keep myself healthy and my family, but also to see where God is going to take my brand after the world opens back up.
That's awesome. Going back to you, Dr. Jones, from a medical standpoint and even just a physical standpoint, many people are dealing with anxiety with watching the news and having to keep up. I know sometimes I literally only watch in the morning and in the evening to find out, what has happened for the day, because it can it'll do too much. You'll start thinking and it's like, okay, so-and-so was at my house and they coughed, 2 weeks ago and I was around this person. How can we deal with the stress and keep that stress low right now, even though we're quarantined? For many mothers who have the little children that Lady Carter was talking about, her heart going out to, how can we keep that stress down? How can we, what techniques or things would you advise us to do?
I would say stress in itself and anxiety actually decreases your immune system. So that is like counterproductive and negates trying to get better or not get the COVID-19. So it's very important that I have had a ton of patients call me and tell me, like, I'm so paranoid, I keep on getting stressed out. They're literally getting the symptoms, but only after they watch the news. So I would say choose 1 hour, whether it's morning or evening, and keep it to literally 1 hour so you can stay, on top of things, but continuing to actually watch the news all day, every day, and then stay online and basically be immersed in COVID stories and the sadness of it. You're going to be stressed and anxious too. So choose 1 hour, and then the rest of the time stay away from TV and do things that are serving you and your body. So one of the things that you can do, if you are capable and able, is actually going outside in nature and walking, getting some sunshine, getting some fresh air. Obviously, you're not going to go to a greenway or the beltway where there's other people. But if you have a neighborhood that you can walk on the sidewalk and get some sun, that's a really, really good way. Also staying hydrated and proper nutrition, eating whole foods. Right now you can get caught up eating all the fried foods and the sugar, and that's definitely not good for you. It hurts your immune system. So taking proper supplements, eating good nutrition, praying and meditating in the morning and at night. So just calming your mind because it's all frazzled. And keeping good people around you. If you are isolated, make sure that virtually you are FaceTiming and keeping in touch with people that you love and care about. So that's what I would say. 1 hour news only. Turn electronics off. Take some time in nature. Eat good food. Drink plenty of water, and be gentle with yourself. Just completely gentle. A lot of us are just really upset with ourselves, like because there's a lot of stress. So just be gentle and kind with yourself, and knowing that if you physically take care of yourself, then the emotional and the mental piece will take part in that too. Sleeping as well. You need to be in your bed 8 to 10 hours. There you go.
That makes sense. Okay. Thank you for that. And by the way, if you're watching this, please go like and share this with your friends, because we've got some great tips. We're going to continue this conversation. Like and share and subscribe to House of Hope Atlanta. And if you have not subscribed to our pastor, E. Dewey Smith Jr., please do that. He has some crazy stuff that he does, as well as some spiritual stuff. It's just funny all the way around. Great stuff for you. Continuing on with what Dr. Jones was talking about, Lady Carter, from the spiritual side of things, I know we're talking about the physical, but what would you advise women to do during this time as far as keeping the anxiety low and really hearing God's voice? What would you say to that?
What would you say to that?
Well, I definitely agree with everything Doctor said before us, and I highly recommend that you get some type of devotion and some type of prayer time. Pull out that Bible study that maybe you did in your women's ministry 6 weeks ago, or maybe 2 months ago, and you kind of rushed through it, or maybe it was that BSF lesson that you kind of were in, but you really weren't in. But I would advise you to pull out those Bible study lessons. I would. If you don't have a Bible study, I could highly recommend going on YouVersion. That's a free app, and they have different studies and Bible plans reading plans that you can follow. But you definitely cannot be consumed with Netflix and the latest and greatest. Because I'm not even gonna lie, my first week, oh yeah, I Netflixed it up because I felt like I have all the time in the world. But then
Right.
it's like I need something more than just my Netflix show. And so carving out some type of devotion time or prayer time, even worship time, your praise music, it will give you some type of peace, because you can get consumed with your social media. You can get consumed with just the news. And I so agree with, I watch the morning news for like that first 30 minutes, and then after that I have to turn it off, because I've gotten my updates. But if I get consumed with it, it can just really take a whole nother, it will just take me down, and
Hmm.
it'll take me. And you know what, I would recommend also putting together just some goals, some spiritual goals that you want to accomplish during this season, some health goals that you want to accomplish, prayer goals, just some different things that you want to do. I've done one thing as far as with my spiritual, is just basically looking back over some Bible studies that I just really need to look at and just kind of refresh.
That's an awesome answer. Look, I need to go back and go over my Bible studies that I've done, because I've been Netflix and chilling and Amazon priming, and I've been doing a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with the Lord right now. I'm just going to be real about it. But we're going to get back to that. Thank you so much for that answer. And also, Melissa, when we talk about from an entrepreneur side standpoint, and Lady Carter just mentioned goals and setting goals right now. What would you say to stay encouraged right now for those who are trying to do those goals, who are, as a successful businesswoman such as yourself, a lot of women that I know have gone back to kind of, regroup, reset, and start doing those things. So, what would you say to a woman who's really trying to get her stuff together during this quarantine time?
I think goal setting is so important. I just talked to a lot of my different business owners. They're really overwhelmed at the amount of money they're going to be losing. And so I've been coaching people to just stay in the present. I'm just reminded of the Lord's Prayer: just give us this day our daily bread. And so I tell them to look at the goals they've already accomplished and see what God has done, to really guide them on what God is going to do. And so even for me, I'm used to selling art left and right? And thank God I kept my full-time job. But there are also a lot of resources, I mean, for free, things we would never had access to. I was looking online. Nikon has a course to teach you how to use all of their things. You can teach yourself how to do a website. So while you may not be able to monetarily, quote unquote, move ahead, you can gain some skills that will make you far more marketable after you come out of it. So for me, I've been saying, what can I do right now and not leave my house to push my business ahead? And so what I've been encouraging other people to do is just really lean on your network. If you don't know what you're doing, call somebody. I'm at home. You can talk to me. There's so many different ways to be growing yourself during this season, because I can't be any use to my art or my business if I'm not my whole self. So don't feel pressure to do something every day, but also don't do anything, right? And so really find a space that works for you. But I am committed to not coming out of this the same, whether it's having a new level of appreciation for my family, my alone time. So when I do get married, I can appreciate not having kids around the house. So it's really about scaling your perspective to make you happier in this season. Because when I tell you, if I sit down and talk about the things I did have, I would lose my mind, right? But when I say, look what I do have, and so I focus on that do have list. So I encourage everybody to keep a gratitude jar, even if it's one thing you put in there every day. I woke up today and I didn't have food. Put that in the pot every day, right? And so at the end of the week, I will pull that out and say, I managed to get through this week alive. And so it really helps you to change your mind and say, while there's a whole lot of things that aren't going right, there's a whole lot that is. And so staying feet in the ground in gratitude every day is what's going to get us through this. And that's how I've been getting through it.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. That was encouraging to me. I'm going back to Lady Carter really quickly. We had a question, which is really funny in a sense to me because I'm a single woman. But one of our parishioners wanted to know, how would you deal with a husband who is suffocating you during the quarantine? You know, he's just kind of like, want to be stuck like glue, wants to be near you all the time, and you're like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. What could you do to set those boundaries but still make your husband feel as if he's wanted and needed?
Listen, your husband suffocating you is a good thing, but I know it can be worrisome. So um, you do have to set some boundaries, but you got to be fair because everybody is different. I am I'm the extrovert in my marriage. My husband is an undercover introvert, and so he can be in his office 24/7. But we've kind of talked where he will come out, he'll take breaks, he'll go on a bike ride, or he'll do this. But then as us as a couple, it is you do have to set some type of boundary. So we were watching a movie together this morning before I kind of got on the call, and then he said, "Okay, I'm gonna pause it, and then when you come back, I'll wait for you and we can watch it together." So you got to establish your alone time, and I mean, you got to establish the sex thing too. I don't know if she's asking about that, but it's like they see you and it's like you're here, but you know what? I have 3 children here as well. So that's a whole nother avenue. But you just got to establish some rules and put some things in play because just like he has work, I have work, and we can meet in the middle. We can meet for lunch. We can meet for breakfast. But between 9 and 11, I got to hold it down, and then I'll see you later.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Look at Melissa. Ooh,
I type
Yes.
it broke. Wait till my people let me have my time.
she just gave some single women some tips now. And going back to Dr. Jones, I had a question. Now, this is me. I love home remedies. And I'm like that person you can call to find out what your grandmama did. um, I take cod liver oil. I'm on the apple cider vinegar. My friends make fun of me all the time. They're like, call Loree if you want to find out what your great great grandmama said. What vitamins? See this? What vitamins? Because my grandmama was right. What vitamins would you advise that we take right now while we can? To build our immune system. I know you talked about that earlier, but what could we take right now while we're quarantined to boost that immune system?
Okay, so if there are certain ones that I would want you to take, the first would be vitamin C, and you want to take 1,000 milligrams twice a day. So that's 2,000 milligrams. One capsule in the morning and one at night. Vitamin C definitely boosts the immune system, and it is the precursor to collagen. So if we think about collagen, that's the suppleness of our skin, and so aesthetically, it's good for you too. So vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams twice a day. The second one is vitamin D. So vitamin D3, 5,000 international units once a day. The goal for Black people is to have 50 to 60. So I test my patients every 6 months, and 5,000 international units once a day. Okay, D3. The third is zinc. So zinc is a cofactor for our immune system. It is also known to interfere with the replication of the COVID virus. So you want to take 25 to 50 milligrams of zinc. Okay, so that's the third. The fourth would be at bedtime, 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So you want to supply your gut with really good, beautiful bacteria. And so that would be in the form of probiotics. So a good one to start with would be Culturelle. And that is from any drugstore, any grocery store. You can get it off Amazon. And you just take one capsule at bedtime on an empty stomach. So those would be the 4 things that I would want people to take, right? Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and a probiotic. And then one that everybody should know is just water. So you want, unless you have congestive heart failure, you want to take your weight, and half of that is how many ounces. So if someone's 200 pounds, half of that is 100. That person is drinking 100 ounces of good, clean water daily. All right, so those are my suggestions.
Those are some good ones. Thank you so much for that. But ladies, in closing, I'm just going to go around to each one of you and let you just say a word of encouragement to the women in your demographic of whatever they may be going through as far as the children, being alone, the health, whatever you'd like to say to our audience today. And I'm going to start with Lady Carter, and we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Melissa, and then close out with Dr. Jones.
Ladies, I would just encourage you. I'm in Dallas and we are quarantined and stay at home until April 30th. And so I would encourage you, do not be discouraged. I would encourage you to stay at home. I would encourage you just to make the best use of this time. Whatever God is trying to teach you through this season or show you through this season, Lord, just please show me. Thank you, Lord. Just for this extra time. I'm thankful for the extra time I have with my children. We're eating at the table. Nobody has schedules, and I'm just thankful for that. So just even in the midst of everything going around you, just a spirit of gratefulness.
Okay, Melissa, yours.
Thank you, ma'am. There's so much that we can do, but first, I think that every woman should be very kind to themselves. I think that we get on social media, we see what other people are doing, we're like, oh, well, Barbara's doing that, I could do that too. And so learn that in this time, you're isolated for yourself for a reason. And so take this time to really get to know who you are. Even in the midst of being a mother, a wife, a caregiver to so many others, take a few minutes each day, just, like you said, to sit in gratitude, but also find a way to learn something about yourself. And just like you said again with the gratitude, I would just say one thing. I read a book that talks about gratitude, and you have to write what you're grateful for every single day. And as you finish the week, you go back and read that entire list. So when this quarantine is over, you should have a dictionary full of things that happened during this time, because God trusted us enough to leave us in this season. So we're equipped, we're ready, and we're written into the history books already without even knowing it. So no matter what you do when you come out of this, you'll never be the same. So cherish this time, stay healthy, stay focused, and commit to being yourself every single day.
So much, Melissa. And also, Dr. Jones, I want to kind of switch your answer, your question really quickly. I know that you're an essential worker. So praying for you guys every day, all of our essential workers, our doctors, our nurses, our hospital workers, everybody that's having to actually go out. What word of encouragement would you have, and how are you protecting yourself? Let's start there. How can you protect yourself for those women who are having to leave the house, and what encouragement would you give them as they're going about their day?
So yes, thank you for that acknowledgement. I definitely want to acknowledge the people on the front lines in the thick of it. So that would be our hospitalists, our ICU, and the ER physicians, and the associates. For me, I'm on the front line in that I am primary care. So I'm the person who all of patients call, and I help them navigate through. This is why you stay home. This is if you're indicated to get a test, and this is when you go to the ER. So my job is to keep the ERs and the hospital, as many people away, because I'm giving them anticipatory guidance and guiding them through that. I am going to work Monday through Friday. And so I would say anytime anybody leaves, before they were advising against putting on masks, but if you can get any type of mask for anybody, yes, you can wear your mask out. We were doing that at first, saying no, because we didn't want the lay people to take all of the masks and then healthcare workers not have any. But now that there are new productions, now everybody and people are actually making it, I think everybody should use that. Number one is because if you have a strong immune system, you might be the asymptomatic carrier that's passing it to others. So if you have a mask on, you're preventing somebody in that 20% that could have severe symptoms from getting sick if you are the asymptomatic carrier. Number two is Georgia is number one for allergies. And with that, you can actually block pollen and all the allergens that are causing your symptoms. And now that everybody's wearing one, it's, a fashion statement, and you can prevent exacerbation of your allergies. So that's for that. And also gloves. I do see people wearing gloves, but it's kind of silly when you touch multiple things and then, touch your eyes or your nose or your mouth, and that's, you're going to get it. So when you wear gloves, it's literally for when you are reaching for the gas and you're putting gas in your car, that one-time use. So you use it to touch the gas pump, then you take those gloves off. Or if you're checking your mailbox, or if you are coming in and out of the door, it's basically you put them on to protect yourself and take them right off, because then it's counterproductive when you're touching everything and then you touch yourself, because the droplets or the aerosolized particles have to get in your eyes, your nose, and your mouth for you to get it. So, yep. So that is my suggestion.
All right. Well, our prayers are going to be continued with you and with all of our doctors and our nurses. You guys are the rock stars, the celebrities that we need to be really celebrating right now. And I'd just like to say thank you, ladies, for being on here today. You all have assisted our women. I hope we can do this again soon. Lady Carter, can you give us your information if we want to follow you on Instagram or Facebook or wherever your social media?
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram at capital MRS Steph Carter. And then I'm on Facebook as well at Stephanie Sadberry Carter. And then I have a podcast as well called #Her Story.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Melissa Mitchell, how can we get Melissa to be in contact with you?
Okay, so my website is melissaAmitchell.com, really easy, and I'm always putting very inspirational tidbits and news inventory on my Instagram. And so my name on there is ABL Creations, and ABL means honeybee in French, and Melissa means honeybee in Arabic. So everybody wants to know, why did you choose ABL? So my name, the spelling of ABL on Instagram is ABEILLE Creations, and that's how you can find me.
All right, thank you. And Dr. Jones, how can we follow you as well?
On Instagram, I'm at the Model Doc. So TheModelDoc, the Model Doc. And then on Facebook, it's Dr. Barbara Joy Jones. And that's it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for our first Pink Table Talk. We have more to come. Next week, we'll be talking about something totally new. So make sure that you stay with Hope TV, with the House of Hope Atlanta. Make sure that you share, like, and subscribe to our channel. And as our pastor always says, if you be good to God, God will be good to you. We'll see you next time. Love y'all. Have a good one.